The mural. It was never taken down, never left the grounds. The last remnant of Sleepy Pines, once seen by hundreds of shoppers a day, is right there, painted on tiles and buried under a warehouse. Its detailed dark lines with their intricate backstrokes and lower effort settlers and natives in the foreground are streaming right to our homes. "Stay at the entrance, Greg," the masked man ordered. "Don't bring that thing any closer a second time. I'll figure out what to do in a moment. And you, keep going. Don't be scared. You and your fans want to see the real deal, don't you? The totems are nothing in comparison. They're just conduits, a tool, a means to translate our ideas into a language it can understand. The mural. That's this composer thing, right?" No. That just keeps what's behind it hidden. By the way, do you like it? He's the painter. A good eye for expressionism, but not so much for the human form or historical accuracy. No, not that it matters now. I need to take a look under the hood, as it were. It's been too long since I've seen what's underneath. I know I've piqued your curiosity, and you don't want to disappoint your viewers, do you? So I'll just put this away for a moment. He walks into frame, and we see him behind as he holsters his weapon and picks up a sledgehammer that had been resting against the mural. Then he calls out, "To be brutally honest, my old friend, I've been wanting to do this since the day we revealed this artwork to the public." "I put my heart into that piece," Greg replies submissively. The man in the mask is unmoved and takes the hammer to the mural. It smashes into the painted tile, breaking off big chunks with each swing. Our friend really does have a chance to run, but like the rest of us, he needs to see the big reveal of something we didn't know existed. He documents the destruction of Sleepy Pine's intended centerpiece, unflinchingly. A large section of tile crumbles after several hits, taking about a quarter of the mural with it. And this is when the art critic tosses the hammer away, grabs an oil lamp, and shines it on the something underneath. "Go on, let your friends have a good look," he says, mockingly. "They'll never see anything else like it. But don't get too close." Nervously, our host brings the camera in. Despite the crappy bitrate, he can make out what appears to be thousands of tiny motors. No, more like miniature rock grinders, turning in unison and pulling in air towards whatever lies deep inside the intricate mechanism. Each saw-like component is as dark matter, yet reflective enough to show up from light hitting it. It's like a retrofuturistic clockwork monster, but despite being an infinitely complex engine or demolisher, or both at once, the strange thing is, it doesn't make a sound. What is it? We don't know for certain. We aren't sure how it runs nonstop. We don't know what's past the hungry spinning blades, or who put it here, or why. When Pierce and the rest of us dug this thing up in 1970, and an accompanying old totem that my friends were careless enough to misplace, all we discovered before we started having visitors of the totem was that it's massive and immobile, going down at least 500 feet, and the teeth covering it eat everything they touch. The man demonstrates by bringing the effigy of the oil lamp into the gears that move like wriggling dark flesh. They immediately grab onto it, pulling it in. Metal is effortlessly crumpled, the glass shattered into dust, and even the fire itself looks like it's consumed. The lamp is gone in seconds. You see why it's impossible to move, and we built a box around it. Only the very top of the structure must be like this, or it would have dug to the center of the earth. Every now and then, it expels very fine particles of varying compositions. Maybe it's thoroughly digested material, or it breaks down matter to learn about it. The only clue about its age is from what it ejects. We had some radiocarbon dating done and found the dust to be 30,000 years old. And it what? Grants wishes? If they're possible in a purely physical form. In a sense, if you render it down to its simplest terms, the totems are the keys to the engine. You used something this alien to make and maintain a shopping mall, just as the natives used it to prosper off the land's bounty, like the farmers after them. We ran the place with minimal staff and upkeep, and made families happy while we made our fortunes. It was fun for a while, but then things started spiraling, just like they did with the steel workers before us. The two of us ran and disappeared into the night, but the others, they couldn't resist coming back to try and revive their faded husk. I assume they lost their minds and succumbed to the corrupting power here. But we were smarter. We waited for memories to grow distant, for the land to be free of attachment, and be primed for creation and reshaping once more. Why are you telling me all of this? All of us, like everything. Neither of us has much time left. This may be our last chance to leave a lasting mark on the world that is changing too fast. We once thought people would hold on to a well-designed mall for the rest of our lives, but even the composer itself couldn't save it. And now we're in an era of mass production. Buildings that go up come down, and no one gives a damn about. I only want to put one final explanation on the world, and I will try. But like I said, if I can't succeed, then at least the world will have seen this. "You're going too far," Greg cried out. "Just let him go. We can figure this out without any violence." The reason for the sudden, desperate shouting isn't clear until our friend turns around and sees that the masked man is back to pointing the gun at him. And now our favorite night security guard has his back just inches away from an anomalous monstrosity that could break him down into tiny particles. I don't want to shoot you. If I do, I wouldn't have kept you around for so long, or anyone else that did your job. I'm sorry that you got involved, but I need you to do something for me. That's just like you after all these years. Greg can be heard stammering from the back. Always a cold, calculating businessman, only pretending to feel anything. Do it the easy way. Get others, the true believers in miracles, to put the heart in. And when it isn't enough, show your devotion by hurting people. Shut up, would you? We kept our friend here around just in case we needed a sacrifice. And this is the moment. You're a true cynic, you know that? You never want something enough to put your whole self into it. Instead of acting insulted, the man, whose mask we still haven't seen in a good light or in full, merely shrugs his shoulders. I won't deny it. Now, friend, I need you to want to step into the composer. I have a feeling most sacrifices in the place were done willingly and are far more impactful. I'll force you in if I must, but I'd rather you offer yourself. You can help bring some elegance back into this world. Come now. Is your life really so great? Prove your worth. The person we believe in fiercely declines with a no fucking way. A shame. If only you had enough nostalgia for Sleepy Pines in its prime. The camera pans downward, showing only the concrete floor. We lose our visual on what's happening at the worst possible moment, and our audio isn't much better as things suddenly devolve into shouts and panicked screams, mixed in with a few final justifications for performing just one more ritual. Many of us have been trying to get through to emergency services for hours, but the flooding, their repeated visits to the warehouse, and the power outage have hindered the efforts. Now we feel helpless amidst the chaos. Several gunshots ring out. There are sounds of pain and more screaming, and the camera and its gimbal drop to the ground with a thud. All we see is one of the oil lamps. There's nothing helpful in frame. For the next few seconds, we only hear the ongoing struggles and shuffling feet. A bright flash then fills the room and momentarily blinds the camera. When the lights fade, the sensor has degraded to the point where the image is badly scrambled and pixelated, but we can still see a mask drop into frame. It's shaped like a rat's head, and it blocks the view further. The video appears to freeze, though there is further audio that sounds like a conversation. A little over a minute after the rat-masked man fell on the floor, the stream goes offline. Some people claim to have waited and refreshed for 6 hours or more. It doesn't come back. As dawn broke, the viewer closest to the area descended on the narrow valley where Sleepy Pines once stood. Others joined them as the morning wears on. It's a clear blue day and a pleasant temperature. They're eager and ready to spend all day searching the area for answers and for our friend. There's just one problem. There's no way into the valley. The section of interstate that passes through it is closed, and 2 smaller roads that go into the area were partially washed away by floodwaters. As traffic in the region backs up and is diverted, someone in our community gets a drone in the air so they can survey Ground Zero. The aerial footage is also live streamed. What we see as it flies over is a forested hill. It's astonishing. Where a large building once stood, there's now a massive sinkhole that's taken everything except for a small corner of the parking lot. Nearby, the highway overpass and on-ramp have collapsed due to the rupturing of the land surrounding the void, which is deep enough that the tangled warehouse ruins just barely reach the surface. Fire trucks and construction vehicles are on the scene, with crews who probably don't know where to begin. Hope diminishes, and we resign ourselves to the loss of our group's favorite new member. The stream is rewatched and every moment analyzed, but the motivation to post and chat like we used to is dampened. There's nothing left but more questions, and that seems to be another tragic end in the Sleepy Pines legacy. And then a new video is suddenly uploaded 2 days later. The quality is different, worse than the phone camera's highs, but much better than its lows, because the footage isn't from a stream. It was saved to the memory card inside the wireless camera our friend had freed from the black matter and must have stuffed in his security vest pocket. The recording is shaky, and only ever faces whatever direction he does, putting it in the style of found footage. We don't know how it was recovered, or the uploader, another of our regulars, posted it without commentary. Nothing new is revealed by the second camera until the streamer's phone drops to the ground. Picking up from there, we watch amidst the panicked shouting as the man in the rat mask appears to shoot, but instead turns around and fires several shots into Greg, who'd been sneaking up on him from behind at the last second. The injured old man keeps going undeterred, and he and the rat man are soon pushing at each other. A struggle ensued, and words of hate are exchanged, revealing the bubbling toxicity between them. It's not all clear, but Greg throws out words like fool and never trusted you, while the rat man calls him a traitor and even an apostate. Our friend takes the opportunity to get away from the composer, yet he doesn't run. He turns back to the men as more shots go wild. The fight doesn't last much longer, and the slightly sprier rat man overpowers Greg, knocking him to the floor. He mumbles some glib remark we don't pick up, and takes aim to finish off the old artist. When our host, who's had a transformative experience over the last few hours, tackles him directly into the shattered mural. We have our flash of light the instant he makes contact with the inescapable teeth, but if you go frame by frame, you can see the former cultist, who long ago once insisted that I be sacrificed, briefly share with us an expression of shock as his mask begins to fall off, very nearly revealing his face. We think the composer reacted the way it did because a large mass or a living being produces excess energy. Maybe. Once things have settled, our friend kneels to check on his coworker, who's gravely wounded, but perhaps seems to be at peace with his little rebellion. What he tells us confirms that this was no recent crisis of conscience. I want to put an end to all, he says weakly, and rolls over so he can point to his totem. Please, I think if you feed that to it. I tried. What do you mean? You think it will destroy that thing? I couldn't get close enough. Wouldn't let me. I think once you serve it, powerless to fight. Maybe if an outsider. I'll get it. You don't have to say any more. I'll do it. He stands back up, and the camera points to the unassuming totem left by the sanctum's entrance. He isn't afraid, he isn't trembling, and his breathing is steady. Nor is there much build-up or time spent thinking on what to do or what might happen. He barely hesitates at all in going over, grabbing the bizarre idol, and taking it to what remains of Sleepy Pines. There's no resistance in his return walk, and seemingly no contemplation on whether or not he can use this still barely understood power to his own benefit. He stops at Greg for just a second, his troubled expression changing into a feeble smile, and we can hear him murmur, "Best one I ever made." The top of the buried monolith is dead inside, and after a final deep breath, our hero tosses the totem into it as it eats it with those all-consuming gears. The result is an explosion of vibrant, continuous flashes, many colors, coming back out. He's thrown backwards and struggles to get up. He knows he has to, and after some groans and coughs, does so and gives us our last glimpse of the composer structure. It's on fire. For some reason, the flames are blue and violet. Greg, closer to the blast, has found redemption, but it almost certainly is no longer with us. Even if it were, I think we all know he'd tell his coworker to run. The building is coming down. Even in the hidden basement, the walls, the floor, the ceiling are cracking. The tremors make it hard for him to find his footing, and the camera itself is being bombarded with invisible energy. Our AI video software will later do its best to clean up the worsening of the dead pixels and the distortions. The results are far from perfect, but the quality is good enough to at least let us see how the story ends. After scrambling up the ladder, he shows us the warehouse before making his escape. It's turned into a vision of hell. The black gunk is breaking up into smoke so fast that there must be some kind of exothermic reaction. It, too, has caught fire, of regular color. The entire building is a crumbling inferno, and the mimicked ritualistics and other people have devolved into burning, crawling, still menacing blob-like creatures. They come towards the camera, reaching out, either trying to grab him or escape themselves. He remembers that he no longer has an audience, and from here out, moves at a full survival speed. With the structure moaning and heavy metal crashing down all around him, he crawls under the opening made by the forklift and makes it outside, now bathed in pre-dawn light. Right outside, the shuttered door is a sloppily parked black luxury SUV, whose owner won't be coming back for it. The ground is buckling underneath him. He runs over to his small white hatchback, gets in and starts it, and peels out on the otherwise empty employee parking lot. The asphalt is coming apart and knocks down the lot's streetlights, and at this point I become certain that the land is sinking. Whatever is going on hundreds of feet below the surface, everything in the area is about to collapse into the abyss. The ride is rough and bumpy, but he makes it to the side of the road that will lead him to safety. If only there weren't floodwaters surrounding the building that threatened to swamp his low-riding car. He stops and considers if he could make it through. Luckily, because the ground is breaking into deep fissures, he watches the water drain before our eyes in a matter of seconds. He slams on the pedal. On his right, a segment of the building sliding bends inward, and the roof partially collapses, but he makes it off of the premises as we root for him from the future. It really feels as if he's going to make it, and is already in the clear. He heads towards the highway, only to capture video of the overpass falling apart, blocking the easiest escape route. With nowhere else to go, he goes into reverse and doesn't even get a chance to turn around, giving us a view across his dash at total destruction. The distribution center drops below the surface as the surrounding fields pull apart, pulling downward like an antlion's pit. At what must be the edge of the forested foothills about half a mile away from where the road used to be, he feels safe enough to come to a stop and just watch. The land swells up as if from an underground explosion, before undergoing a final collapse. This is followed by many rising plumes of thick black smoke that dissipate into the dawn sky, which circles the new hole in the ground and looks a lot like a Venus flytrap ensnaring tendrils. Just when we think it's over, the fireworks end with a bolt of lightning, despite the clear weather. When reviewing the footage frame by frame, the powerful discharge can be seen rising from the center of the sinkhole. The camera then shuts off amidst its owner's heavy breathing, either from the battery dying right on cue or by getting fried by the energetic outburst. Our last view of the area is an exploding cloud of dust, debris, and smoke. But what happened to the star of that night? Was his camera found by one of us, or did the footage show his final moments? I happened to be amongst a few dozen antsy members who watched the video as soon as it was uploaded, unaware that text was being tapped out all the while. All we had to do was refresh the thread. Hey guys, it's me. I made it out, even though I was trapped in that valley with nothing to eat for about 10 hours, before a crew of all-terrain trucks was able to bring me back to town. My poor car is still stuck in the valley, and I probably can't get it out until the bridge is repaired. To the local commuters, sorry about the highway. Might be out of commission for a while. I can't believe the whole place came down, just like that. and also fell into a huge sinkhole. I would have gotten back to y'all sooner, but my phone is buried under tons of ruins. I even lost my apartment key because I left my main keyring at my desk. I know, pretty stupid. I haven't been able to go back in just yet and use my laptop, so I've been staying at a hotel. Lucky for me, one of my members tracked me down and let me use his phone and account to upload the video to post this. Meeting one of you guys in person wasn't as bad as I thought it'd be. My life is a mess, and corporate is going to ask me a lot of questions about what happened, but I'm resilient. It's only been a short while, but I can't say I feel any strange effects from that night, other than a little PTSD. No urge to create a totem or chop off my hand. I think there will still be more mysteries about this area to look into, but it's possible that whatever was here for thousands of years is finally gone, unless it has the power to return someday, or there's, somehow more of them out there. I may never look at a fancy, very clean building the same way again. I guess things will move on like before, even after the destruction of a cosmic horror or forgotten alien machine. But I admit I'm curious about what might in time show up in the valley, so I'll check in with some awesome viewers occasionally to see how the story continues. And Greg, I was wrong about you. Thanks for what you did in the end. If you see Mike and Jenna wherever it is that you all go to, tell them, I don't know, we made a good team. Okay, I really need some sleep. Later. The idea that all of this had, or still is, happening elsewhere in the world hadn't really been brought up before. The Sleepy Pines saga seems like it would have been something truly unique, but who can say for sure? There's so much to still wrap our heads around, like the fact that we were all there live and saw the conclusion of a miracle that lasted tens of millennia. Personally, I think that at least one place where the earth breathes can exhale for the last time. As I write this story, I realize that for the first time in years, I felt disconnected from Sleepy Pines, like its long-distance grip on me has vanished. Now, all that's left are more good memories of family visits. Bright, colorful clothes, fountains, coins, Santa, skylights, indoor trees, a little bit of faint muzak, a vibrant neon pattern, and the pleasant kind of getting lost in a space feeling. If you were a kid of the era, you get it, and even if you're of the younger generation, you might still feel nostalgia for an age of optimism that you missed. People made that time and place special on their own. We still can and do. No costly wishes necessary.
Good evening, everyone. It's me, Dr. Plague. Thank you so much for joining us for tonight's show. If you think you might like a little more spooky in your life, then please feel free to click on one of the videos we have up here. Maybe look at one of the playlists if you're trying to get caught up. I know, there's so many videos on the channel. There's so many series that are going at the same time. Sometimes you just need a little refresher course, and I gotta say, I always enjoy the views. If you're not subscribed, feel free to hit that subscribe button. Maybe hit the bell so you don't miss anything. We upload a lot on this channel, so you won't want to miss a single story as they come out. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click on the Amazon link down there. There's quite a few books in my Amazon account. You can have a look, and if you'd like a signed copy, get up with me through email, and I'll be happy to work something out with you. Also, there's links to my Patreon, and you can become a member on the channel if you'd like your spooky a little bit early. Patrons and members on the $5 tier get their videos 12 hours early. That's in the morning as opposed to in the evening. Patrons at the $10 level also get a signed copy of my book anytime I write one. Speaking of my patrons, you should see them appearing right now. Just wanted to take a minute to say how much I appreciate all of you. Patrons, subscribers, however you give to the channel. I really appreciate everything you do, and it truly touches me that you have chosen to support the channel in this way. Well, that's enough for now. Till next time, Dr. Plague, signing off. Have a wonderful evening.